Hello, and welcome to another stream. Today I will be running in the snow. Let me make sure my audio is good. Yeah, I'm gonna get off the Discord part because that was just a test. Actually, I'm gonna quit Discord altogether. Everything looks to be good so far. All the microphone settings are in. Quit the launcher, quit notes. Yeah, everything's good to go. Let us begin our runs. We're currently at Sando Street Terminal, and as you can see, it is currently snowing. We will be running an R32 for today's run on the B line, which is the local variant of the D. I hope to be able to restore my lines to H status, so that way I could give the B and D to another system I have planned. So it's not, hopefully it's not going to be known as B and D forever. It's just for now. Goes back to H. This is Sando Street. This is a Land of Slicken bound B local train. The next stop on this train will be 10th Street. Step all the way in, stand clear of the closing doors, please. Scheduled for our 1:49 p.m. departure. Switches are not correctly switched. There we go. Good. Okay, just wanted to make sure the train is correctly oriented. Headlights, check. Let's do it. As you see, I run 8-car sets on this line. Hopefully it'll make more sense when it goes back to being H. Administrative changes. Yes, it's snowing in the land of sand. Who would have thought? We hide junction overlays. Going in the hole. You swing back around here. Ladies and gentlemen, not only is it a violation to walk or ride between cars, it is impossible on 75-footers, but not on these trains. If you must cross between cars, please do so while the train is stationary. Thank you for listening to this message. We're not going top speed, but it's because I want to hear the sound effect of the howl through the tunnel. This is 10th Street. First stop in the land of slicking. Alright, let's make our first stop count on this B local train. 10th Street. West Point bound B. 12th Street City Hall is next. Step all the way in and clear the closing doors, please. Ignore the snow coming through the tunnels. We have bad ventilation. Ladies and gentlemen, if you drop something on the tracks, leave it. A robot will come and collect your belongings for you. This is 12th Street City Hall. Disclaimer, the mayor's office is not actually here. It's actually in 1 KT Center, around the 8th floor. But you don't need to know that. Nevertheless, you know anyway. Let me pull it up a bit so the column doesn't get in the way. There we go. West Point bound B, 15th Street is next. Step all the way in, stand clear of the closing doors. What's up? Flatbush Avenue limited routes next for select bus service. It's going to be the B41 because I just showed it in yesterday's video. This is 15th Street. Ah, no emergency brake required on this one. '15th Street, West Point bound. I almost said H. West Point bound B. Next stop on this train is 19th Street. Step all the way in, stand clear of the closing doors, please. You couldn't tell, I really enjoy operating R32s. Perhaps a little too much. There's the shuttle divergence. This is where the shuttle separates from the B and D. I still need to fill the ceiling so that it feels like it's underground. This is 19th Street. West Point bound B. 39th Street, KT Center is next. Step all the way in, stand clear of the closing doors, please. Alright, now we can haul for a little bit. Yeah, the B55 is being added. It's going to be the new select route. But overall, there's 9 new routes for the local side. Yeah, if you hear a hissing noise in the background, it's my heater. Today is the shortest day of the year, so, and the first day of winter, so it does make sense to run this snow route, per se. Coming into 39th Street, KT Center. This is 39th Street, KT Center. You may connect with the Shuttle to Castle Street or one of the 10 KT towers above the street level. You know, I gotta pull up a little further than the Bridge Electric. That's how I know I'm fully in the station. "39th Street, KT Center, B local train." Ladies and gentlemen, we are being held momentarily by the train's dispatcher while KT gets the schedule. We apologize for any inconvenience. You're telling me I don't have the schedule? You're kidding. "48th, 60th, Forest Avenue." "80th. Wait, do I have a Forest Avenue? Because if I do, I'm gonna be like, what? Okay, yeah, it's 48th, 60 Forest. 48th Street is next. Step all the way in, stand clear of the closing doors, please. You could tell I'm not used to running the local shift at all. There it is. We just switched to the local track. B103 is getting cut back, that is correct. B16 is going via alternate route. Of course, if you want the answers to the questions you're looking for, just refer to the redesign. Well, the redesign video art. I really enjoy these curves. This is 48th Street. This station is too curvy for its own good. "48th Street, be local to West Point. 60th is next. Step all the way in, stand clear of the closing doors, please." That is how curvy this station is. They'll probably change the scheduling too of Queens Village Track. Because they can't just... I can't see them just leaving the schedule the same way that it was before. They're probably going to change it. I'm making the most out of my local shift by pushing it to the maximum. This is 60th Street. 60th. West Point bound B. Forest Avenue is next. Step all the way in, stand clear of the closing doors, please. I have to fix these tunnels later. Or I have to do it on the Greater Slicking project, which is my next planned project. Ladies and gentlemen, due to trains being stored on the express tracks at Van Slycken Avenue due to the snowstorm, we will be stopping at Van Slycken Avenue. Once again, we will not be running express past Van Slycken Avenue. For those who need connections to any of the routes at Van Slycken Avenue, today's your lucky day. This is Forest Avenue. I didn't mean to hit the e-brake that quickly. That was an accident. I'm not even fully in the station yet, I don't think. This is what happens when you build stations too long. You never know if you're fully in yet. Forest Avenue, West Point bound B, 80th Street is next. Step all the way in, stand clear of the closing doors, please. So we only got 2 more stops in the Sando Slicken. We got 80th and Van Slicken Avenue, then we're out. Then we're in West Point. (174th Street Yard, which is the yard that these cars are based out of, cares for their R32s deeply and therefore takes really good care of them. The BX4A will end at Long Roof, BX35 will end at Jennings. Yeah, that's the Bronx Bus redesign, right? I hope it's benefiting the residents of the Bronx, because I'm going to be honest with you, even though I've only seen the M125 for a few months, I'm kind of annoyed seeing it instead of the BX15. It's kind of painful. I will admit that. 80th Street. Transfer is available to the D Express train across the platform. The D, ladies and gentlemen, due to the impending snowstorm, D trains will be making the local stop at Van Slicken Avenue. This was done in order to store trains on the express tracks at Van Slicken Avenue, as they commonly do during snowstorms. 80th, next stop is Van Slicken. Step all the way in, stand clear of the closing doors, please. Getting a 5 mile per hour speed limit boost. I know it looks super weird snowing in the tunnels, but what could you do? Once again, due to trains being stored on the express tracks at Van Slicken Avenue, D trains will be stopping at Van Slicken Avenue. This is Van Slicken Avenue. Transfer is available to the A, C, D, F, 4, and 6 trains. Connection is also available to the Van Slicken Railroad, as well as the S2 and S16 buses. Van Slicken Avenue, last stop in Slicken. West Point bound, be local. Conduit Bridge is next. Step all the way in, stand clear of the closing doors, please. As you can see, we got a R68 and an R32 laid up on the center tracks. BX4A not going to third is kind of inconvenient for me. I'm sorry to hear that. I know a lot of people lost their one-seat rides with the BX15 being cut, so I'm kind of sad about that. Ladies and gentlemen, we are now leaving the borough of Slicken and crossing over into the borough of West Point. I don't know why, I kind of like the R32s with the tinted windows. Makes them feel more nostalgic to me personally. Same with the R30s. Alright, now we can really enjoy the snow. That's what I'm talking about. This is really cool. I really enjoy this. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Conduit Bridge. However, this is a passenger-enabled station, and I don't really feel like picking up customers right now. So we're going to pretend that I stopped here, and we are going to proceed to the next station, Grand Avenue. BX15 does end at the hub now. I am sad about that, as I've said before. Oh, shoot. My camera was clipping. This always happens when I go up and down hills. I'm giving local service a good name. This is Grand Avenue. I like that sanding sound it makes. At least that's what I call it. I had to wait for a loud ambulance to pass by. Sorry about that. This is Grand Avenue. This is a West Point Island bound B local train. Royal Center is next. Step all the way in. Stand clear of the closing doors, please. Yeah, so I basically had to cover the ground with snow and then put the snowflakes in to get this effect. I always view snowstorms as magnificent. Alright, we're going on the viaduct. We'll be descending into Royal Center. This is Royal Center. Royal Center. West Point Island bound B local train. Rock Hill is next. Step all the way in. Stand clear of the closing doors, please. This is Rock Hill. This is the West Point Island bound B local. 78th Street is next. Step all the way in. Stand clear of the closing doors, please. This is 78th Street. 78th Street, 85th Street will be next. Step all the way in, stand clear of the closing doors, please. Ladies and gentlemen, due to a severe snowstorm, B and D trains will not be proceeding further than 211th Street in West Point Island. For service between 211th Street and 265th Street, take a shuttle bus outside. This is 85th Street. '85th Street, next stop is 94th Street. Step all the way in, stand clear of the closing doors, please. This is 94th Street. '94th Street, West Point Island bound B local train. 100th Street is next. Step all the way in, stand clear of the closing doors, please. Wait, is it 100 or is it 112? Let me check. What do we have here? Yep, I'm right. 100, 112, and 124. Stand clear of the closing doors, please. This is 100th Street. 100th Street, West Point Island bound B local train. 112th Street is next. Step all the way in, stand clear of the closing doors, please. Here we see the abandoned 8-line tracks, which is now the 4-line. This is 112th Street. This is a West Point Island bound B local train. The next stop on this train will be 124th Street. Step all the way in, stand clear of the closing doors, please. This is 124th Street. (124th Street), West Point Island bound B local train. 134th Street is next. Step all the way in, stand clear of the closing doors, please. This is 134th Street. 134th. Transfer is available to the D train across the platform. 134th Street, West Point Island bound, be local. 143rd is next. Step all the way in, stand clear of the closing doors, please. This is 143rd Street. This is a West Point Island bound B local. 151st is next. Step all the way in. Stand clear of the closing doors, please. (151st Street, 157 is next. Step all the way in, stand clear of the doors, please. 157th Street. 157th Street, Kingside Road is next. Step all the way in. Stand clear of the closing doors, please. This is Kingside Road. Kingside Road. I don't even recognize it with all this snow. Wow. It's incredible. Transfers available to the D train. Oh, we did all this stretch just going local. It's incredible. If there's lag, it's because we're near the 174th Street yard and there's a lot of trains over there. This is Kingside Road. B local train to West Point Island. 174th is next. Step all the way in. Stand clear of the closing doors, please. Oops, wrong side. Stand clear. Close doors, please. There we go. Switch the right way? Yes, I am. This is 174th Street. $174. $174th Street. If you're a rail fan, you could gaze at 174th Street Yard's operations here. 181st Street bus terminals next. Step all the way in. Stand clear of the closing doors, please. Ladies and gentlemen, we are approaching 181st Street. Connection is available to the W12 bus to West Point Island. 181st Street. Ain't no way I was misaligned. Ain't no way. You bugging. As long as my train's still intact, that's all that matters. But still, like, yo. $181, 193rd Street, West Point Island is next. Step all the way in, stand clear of the closing doors, please. This is the last stop in West Point. Now we're going over the bridge. It's going to be fun. We'll go over the choppy waters of West Point Island River. So I'm going to enjoy that. We have now entered West Point Island. This is 193rd Street. First stop in West Point Island. I have to check comments when I get to 211. Alright. 193rd Street, 211th Street bound B train. The next stop is 200th Street City College. Step all the way in, stand clear of the closing doors, please. I always like this little stretch of operation. Okay, I see the comments now. Bus fleet that replaces the next gens like Keith Stengel. The cone heads are doing that, and they're doing it pretty well so far. They extend the one to Red Hook. I wouldn't say that's a true or false question. I would say that's a matter of do people want it and is it feasible. If it doesn't fall into those two categories, then it should not occur. If it does, then have at it then. This is 200th Street City College. Doors will open on both sides of this station. If any of you are watching Sonic Prime, I definitely recommend because it's a good show. I'm on the second episode so far. 200th Street City College. The next and last stop on this train will be 211th Street. Step all the way in, stand clear of the closing doors, please. I didn't want to close them at the same time, but okay. Whatever floats the boat. Time to haul through this tunnel. I did want 211 to be a half underground, half above ground station, but it's not feasible with the current assets that are available on the download station. I wanted to go for kind of like a Hunter's Point Avenue feel for 211th Street. Ladies and gentlemen, this is 211th Street. Last stop on this train, last stop. No passengers, this train is going out of service. 211th Street. For service back the way you came, please transfer to the D train across the platform. Last stop. Last stop, last stop. Everyone please leave the train. Thank you for riding with the KTA, Slickin City Transit. Ladies and gentlemen, we will be going on a temporary break. The next run out of 211th Street will be the R30 across the platform. Thank you for tuning in. Our next run for the day is an R30 running on the D line. Let me open up the doors. Alright. Our departure is at 3 o'clock p.m. Get long layovers because there's not that many trains running, so that's good. We're running weekend service because of the snowstorm, which means we're only running one express train, being this particular train here. Everything else is assigned to the B local. Alright, so let me see if I can read comments. There will be cone heads on the Q35. This is true. So the MT extends 7 to Staten Island. I don't agree. So they extend the 1 to Red Hook. Looking at it, you would need a very long tunnel to do that. But if it is feasible, I would give it a try. That would be interesting. Subway next stop news will occur after fleet status, likely in January, because fleet status will be hopefully in December. I'm still working on that. E563 I think is at Gun Hill. Base order is either under construction or will be under construction, depending on if the prototype does well. Alright, with that said, let me get started for this next run. Yes, we use railroad signals on this part. This is 211th Street. This is a West Point bound D train. 200th Street is next. Step all the way in, stand clear of the closing doors. I've been showing a lot of favoritism towards the D line recently, as you may have noticed through the past 3 train streams I've done. I'm going to close it. I'm going to shut up soon and drive out. It's 3 o'clock, so now it is time to depart. Stand clear. I said in August they will start coming in December. The R211s are experiencing delays. MTA announced that the prototype won't even enter service till this spring. That was like a month or so ago. So R211s are not really doing well. They still need more testing and more diagnostics, things of that nature. Am I disappointed? Of course I am, but sadly it is what it is. Just got to be patient. And production units were supposed to start coming in December. That was pending the R211 entering service in November, which it did not do, sadly. So I have a feeling the production sets will be pushed back as well. Alright, we are approaching 200th Street City College. This is 200th Street City College. This is a West Point bound D Express train. 193rd Street is next. Step all the way in, stand clear of the closing doors, please. $79.38 is at Flatbush, along with 27 other units. Some of them are 79.50s and 60s even. I'm gonna cover that hopefully in the fleet status. R30s are pretty cool trains, if I'm being honest with you. This is 193rd Street, coming in kind of hot. (193rd) West Point bound D Express train. 181st is next. Step all the way in, stand clear of the closing doors, please. (9903) is in service at Manhattanville. It's a recent arrival. Why is testing taking so long? Are there problems? From the videos, they seem to be perfectly fine. I think the MTA wants to make sure that everything is okay, given their previous history with the R179s. They want to make sure everything is legit and good to go before they place these into service. Ladies and gentlemen, once again, due to the blizzard, the B and D trains will be running on a weekend schedule. There will only be one D Express train per hour. All other trains will be B local trains, which will be running at 10-minute intervals. This is 181st Street. No, I'm sorry, 12-minute intervals, because I gotta make it more like the J. Every B train will be running at 12-minute intervals. (181). This is the land of slick and bound D Express train. Kingside Road is next. Step all the way in, stand clear of the closing doors, please. Yeah, I didn't get held by trains dispatch. Rare Techno W. This is Kingside Road. Transfers available to the B train across the platform. feels like everyone's just trying to skip 2023 and go right to 24, including the MTA. Kingside Road. 134th Street is next on this train. Step all the way in, stand clear at the closing doors, please. Wow, that didn't work. Try again. Stand clear at the closing doors, please. Oops. Alright, let's halt. If an R211 randomly opened its doors in front of me, of course I would get on. I would definitely get on. I'll be taking a lot of pictures. 234 diesel in service now. You're talking about XT40s and Coneheads in total? Because I think that's what you're referring to. This is 134th Street. Transfers available to the B train across the platform. This is a Slickham bound D express train. Rock Hill is next. Step all the way in, stand clear of the closing doors. Ladies and gentlemen, backpacks and other large containers may be subject to search. Just don't act sus. You'll be fine. Speaking of sus, check out the Among Us movie coming out in 2023. No, I'm kidding. If you see a suspicious package or activity on the platform or train, do not keep it to yourself. Tell a police officer or a KTA employee. Remain alert, have a safe day. Always be aware of your surroundings at all times. Did the MTA get Gillig BRTs to replace the C40LFs? I want them to. Personally, I want to see that, but I don't know if it's actually going to happen. Hello NJTE, welcome to the stream. Currently doing a D Express run to the land of Slicken, the land which Night Eagle enjoys, terrifying. Currently traveling through the land of West Point. I really hope those yellow and red signals turn green. Okay, there we go. Oh man, I'm sorry to hear that. It's never good when events like that occur. We are hauling on the West Point Express. I would be on the outside, but I have to fix the tracks. I have to do track replacement. Because there's this weird mode where you can't see anything but the top of the train. I think it's because I had other trains on the tracks when I was building. Learn from your mistakes, alright? Put the tracks down first, then you put the trains down. And if you have to, use an R160 as a measuring tool because those are the longest trains in this game. A 10-car train of R160s is longer than an 8-car train of R46s in Trains 2019. So if you're building a station, use a 10-car R160 as a measuring tool. Unless you're building stations to accommodate 8-car trains, then put an 8-car R160 down to measure. However many cars you're running, use an R160. So you don't have any accidental short platforms. This is Rock Hill. Rock Hill. Royal Center is next. Slicken bound D Express. Stand clear of the closing doors. Entire 8th grade got their prom taken away, plus their end of year field. Oh no! You bugging. Just because of 2 people? No way. You can't be serious. That is foul. But you know what? When I used to be in 8th grade and I would go to recess, and if one person was misbehaving, that would basically ground the entire 8th grade from going outside. So we would always hope that everyone would behave at lunch, so that way we would all get to go outside. Because one person can mess it up for everybody, which is horrible. You say prom, you're talking about spring and summer, right? If they messed up your prom But now, they really messed up badly. Because that's not till like months away, if I'm not mistaken. This is Royal Center. Slicken bound D Express. Conduit Bridge is next. Step all the way in, stand clear of the closing bridge. For real, I was really looking forward to it. That is pain, bro. That is pain. Look also the C40 Electric Grand Concourse. There can be if the BX-19 uses short buses, but as of now, I don't know. Unless there's one over there to relieve bus drivers or something. Alright, we're going in the hole. Ladies and gentlemen, slips, trips, and falls can occur in this inclement weather, especially when you stand too close to the platform edge or rush down the stairs, ramps, or elevators too quickly. Please be alert, be safe, and do not rush to get your train. Take your time. Thank you for riding with the KT. Once again, due to this being a passenger automated station, we will pretend to stop here, but we will not actually stop here. That was the last stop in West Point, by the way. We will now be going over the bridge. How come the MTA now runs trains outside during blizzards when the passengers have kept them indoors? Might be because the intensity of the blizzards is decreasing. Because usually they're supposed to only run them indoors. Because outdoor conditions are very slippery. And it can cause the trains to slide around and stuff. Trains will get stuck, etc. But perhaps the blizzards are not as intense as they used to be, so they can now run more trains outdoors. Or maybe they have better technology to deal with the snowstorms. Ladies and gentlemen, once again, due to trains being stored on the express track at Van Slycken Avenue, this train will be stopping at Van Slycken Avenue. Once again, due to express tracks being inaccessible, due to trains being stored on the middle track, we will be diverging to the local track and stopping at Van Slycken Avenue. We will resume express service after 80th Street. I can never get that timer, don't worry about that one. This is Van Slycken Avenue. Transfer is available to the 4, 6, A, C, and F trains. Transfer is also available to B train. Connection is available to the Van Slycken Railroad, as well as the S2 and S16 buses upstairs. Advanced looking avenue. This is a Land of Sand bound D Express train. The next stop in this train will be 80th Street. Step all the way in, stand clear at the closing doors, please. But no more R62As in Queens. Except for like work service, like the 7 Ash and other services, no, there's no more 62As in Queens. It's to prevent the third rail on the express track from freezing and then loading power. The train's running. I mean, that the express track will still have electricity flowing through it. So that could be dangerous then. It's not properly mitigated. Here are the 2 trains on the layup track, as I showed before. This time we're swinging by with an R30, so that's different. 80th Street is next. Step all the way in, stand clear of the closing doors, please. This is 80th Street. '80th Street, D Express to the Land of Sand. 39th Street, KT Center is next. Step all the way in, stand clear of the closing doors, please. Yes, sir, we're hauling between the stretch of 80th Street and 39th Street. On the former run, I did this stretch going local, stopping at 48th, 60th, and Forest. But on this run, I'm going express, so we're not stopping at any of those three stations. Any news on the 72 PA5's path order? Supposedly someone saw one of them, but it might have been one of the older PA5s. Other than that, no new updates on the 72 PA5s. For those that'll watch this stream later and wondering what I'm talking about, check out August update. This is 39th Street KT Center. Connection is available to the shuttle train, as well as one of the 10 KT Center towers upstairs. (39th Street). I'm remaking all the maps I made in Slicken, and it's all taking place in something I call the Greater Slicken Project. It's currently on pause right now, but hopefully it'll resume soon. Okay. Land of Soundbound D Express. 19th Street is next. 19. Step all the way in, stand clear of the closing doors, please. The old gens of Hale were successfully replaced by the 2021 XTE 40s. This is 19th Street. Nineteenth Street, 15th is next. Stand clear of the closing doors, please. Ladies and gentlemen, please be sure to check out the new exhibition at the Slicken Museum, located right across from the Slicken Aquarium in the Grasslands. You may take the 2 train to get there, or the 7 Express if you really need to get there in a hurry. If you live in the Birchlands, you may also take the E or K trains to this location. Remember, these routes interconnect at Slicken Terminal, so you can change from route to route if necessary. With the recent extension of the 6 train to Slicken Terminal, you may choose this as an option to take you to Slicken Aquarium or Slicken Museum as well. This is 15th Street, transfers available to the Shuttle train. Alright, we got 3 more stops on this train. Then I switch to my last one of the day, which is the Shuttle. Fifteenth Street, 12th Street City Hall is next. Step all the way in, stand clear of the closing doors, please. I'll be using an R42 for the shuttle run. My favorite Arctic is no longer in service. That would be 1999 to 2000 D6EHF, namely 5418, later named 4806, 5464, and 5471. th Street City Hall. Street City Hall, land of Sandbound D Express, 10th Street is next. Step all the way in, stand clear of the closing doors, please. This is 10th Street, last stop in Slicken. This is 10th Street, land of Sandbound D Express. Sando Street is the next and last stop, not Sando Street Terminal. Step all the way in, stand clear of the closing doors, please. This is Sando Street. Last stop. Last stop. Last stop on this train. No passengers. Train is now out of service. Thank you for riding. This is 35th Street. 35th Street. Wait, I want the train to stop here. So I press drive to track mark. 35th Street to Castle. Okay, now it's going to stop. 35th Street. This is a 39th Street bound shuttle. It's rare to see R42 shuttle, but it's nice. Wait, I want the rail fan window. There we go. Next and last stop on this train will be 39th Street. Step all the way in, stand clear of the closing doors. That was cool seeing that Bridge Electric pass by. Wonder if it stopped. It just kept going. It's like it didn't even register my command. Oh well, no big deal. Where was I? Yes. Shuttle to 39. No, 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 no. No, 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 no. Drive, drive, drive. Okay. You're sending this R42 off. It's an 8-car train. Let's go to the front. Once again, next and last stop on this train will be 39th Street. This train will be going around and heading to Castle Street. After that, I will loop around and terminate at Sando Junction. That will be my last stop for the day. Give me control of the train, please. Thank you. Once again, next stop is 39th Street. We'll do a quick relay there, and we will head downtown once again. If only the MTA kept them this clean. Yeah, I agree. The R42s. And welcome to the stream, West Farms fan and Jaden. 39th Street, last stop. Transfers available to the B&D, as well as the KT Central Towers upstairs. Last stop. Last stop, last stop. Everyone please leave the train. Thank you for riding with the KTA. We will be relaying here for a couple minutes, then we will proceed downtown. Yeah, just chilling on the R42. It's not the best asset in the world, but I still enjoy it nonetheless. Let's go up to the first car. I like that view a lot. Took a lot of screenshots today of this game. Enjoyable game. Not bad of a game. Alright, so we're gonna enter this train. You're now in the first car. I do not have the lineup yet. Let's change that. Still don't have the lineup. There we go. Trying to figure out what views are what. Okay, so I'm gonna alternate between these three views. Rail fan window, there, and there. And left, I'm pressing the left button to do that. Okay, right button. Time now is 3:51 p.m. This is a Land of Sand bound shuttle. 35th Street is next. Step all the way in. Stand clear of the closing doors, please. Now, when I drive the R42, I have to be very careful because it accelerates hella fast. At least the windows on this train are clear so you can see everything. Like West Farms better than Jackie Gleason. Years ago, I would have agreed with you. This is 35th Street. This is a Land of Sand bound shuttle train. The next stop on this train will be 28th Street. Step all the way in, stand clear of the closing doors, please. Alright, so the canon is that these stations used to be abandoned for a little while, but I reactivated them. So that's how I now run a shuttle train. Because the shuttle used to only run between Sando Street and Castle Street, but now I extended it all the way to 39th Street, and that gives 39th Street more access to the Land of Sand. It also revitalized these two abandoned stations. Either that or the canon should be that the H had to use the abandoned platforms instead of the shuttle. That sounds like a better canon, but I like the concept of these two stations being abandoned. Or three stations, because you gotta include 19th as well. But the H train serves the other 19th Street. When I say the H, I'm referring to what I currently call the B and D, until otherwise noted. This is 28th Street. 28th. Sometimes my own canon confuses me. Don't let NJTE hear that, by the way. What the heck? That sudden jolt of acceleration scared the crap out of me. 28th Street. Land of Sandbound Shuttle. 19th is next. Step all the way in. Stand clear of the closing doors, please. These Ryan 5s will be super loud. I heard that. That is canon. Darn it, NJTE. Darn it! No! Reactivating stations, something the MTA will never do. That is a sad fact. Like, you'll never see Myrtle Avenue on the B&Q come back. You'll never see 91st Street come back, nor 18th Street, nor City Hall. These will remain permanently abandoned. Could you imagine how awesome it would have been if we got a connection to the Manhattan Bridge from Chambers Street on the J and Z? That would have been incredible. I think the tracks for it are still there on the N and Q lines, because the B&D tries to psych you out by having this large tunnel that goes to nowhere, or at least I assume it goes to nowhere. It's well lit up and everything, but you should really be paying attention to the one on the Q and N trains. Like, when you cross over the Manhattan Bridge going into Brooklyn, you will see the leads that lead to the J and Z trains at Chambers Street. Like, there's 2 abandoned track tunnels there. And I believe those were supposed to go to Chambers. A lot of cool history on that branch. This is 19th Street. 19th Street, land a Sandbound Shuttle. 15th is next. Step all the way in, stand clear of the closing doors, please. Where's the merge? Here it is. This is 15th Street. Transfers available to the B and D trains on the same platform. Street, 12th Street City Hall is next. Step all the way in, stand clear of the closing doors, please. Link to the video. Yeah, those leads were initially part of the Nassau Street loop. Trains will start at Chambers, head to Brooklyn via Court Street, serve Brooklyn, and then head back via the bridge. That would have been cool. So you would have had the option to use the Williamsburg or the Manhattan Bridge. That would have been really, really cool. It would basically send you from Bay Ridge to Brighton Beach. That would be pretty awesome. This is 12th Street City Hall. Land of Sandbound Shuttle. 10th Street is next. Step all the way in, stand clear of the closing doors, please. Alright, we're going over the X switch. I posted the cannon moment. Darn it! I can't win. I can't win. This is unbelievable. I'm being sabotaged. This is 10th Street. Last stop in the land of slicking. We will be crossing over into the land of sand. Land of Sandbound Shuttle. Sando Street, Shuttle side is next. Step all the way in, stand clear of the closing doors, please. U-train from Howard Beach JFK to Bedford Park Boulevard via Brooklyn Queens 125th in the Bronx. That would basically be like a combination of the A and D trains. I like it. This is Sando Street, Shuttle side. First stop in the land of sand. This is a Castle Street bound shuttle. The next stop on this train will be Windy Shore Waterside. Step all the way in, stand clear of the closing doors, please. I think I actually zoomed out a little bit. This is Windy Shore Waterside. I kept both names because of the nostalgia value. Because one of my stations was in fact named Windy Shore, so I'm like, why not keep both? Windy Shore Waterside. This is a Castle Street bound shuttle. Next stop on this train will be Seaside Parkway. Step all the way in, stand clear of the closing doors, please. Really love how this looks like a lot. I love it. The roof is blending in with the ground. We are literally so close to the water, it's not even funny. What did you do when you grew up with those Orion 5s? Orion 7s? I grew up with both, so... Never knew the shuttle got extended into a land of sand. Yep. This is Seaside Parkway. Yes, sir, the Bridge Electric. Doing this thing. This is a Castle Street bound shuttle. Next stop on this train will be Emerald Avenue. Step all the way in. Stand clear of the closing doors, please. And yes, I named it Emerald Avenue before I became base. Okay, sun's starting to go down in real life. 4:09 right now. Playing the game for a couple hours. 2 hours, 21 minutes. Zero visibility out here. I love it. Imagine if the rest of Myrtle Avenue Line L was upgraded. That would have been cool. And it would have made the B-54 useless. I did reference that in my Brooklyn redesign video that launched yesterday. This is Emerald Avenue. This is a Castle Street bound shuttle train. The next stop on this train is BX Aurelian. Step all the way in, stand clear of the closing doors, please. This is BX Aurelian. It's a wordplay. It doesn't actually mean anything, but it's a wordplay for beach. This is a Castle Street bound shuttle. The next stop on this train will be Sando Junction. Step all the way in, stand clear of the closing doors, please. Back to the front. Techno, after 2 years, what's your opinion on the HEVs? Good buses, but the company sucks as far as delivery goes. So every time I look at an HEV, there is an ounce of disdain within me. I will forever see them as the buses that fail to get the job done. Just keeping it real. And no, am I going to say the XDEs didn't get the job done because they're still next gens at Quill, Hale, East New York, and Grand? No. Because that was their choice to keep the next gens, even though their allotments were fulfilled. Nova, however, is keeping people waiting on their allotments. So I can't say the same for them. This is Sando Junction. Shuttle train to Castle Street. Beachfront is next. Step all the way in, stand clear of the closing doors, please. Could it even be called a shuttle at this point, given how many stops it has? We're going to be ending the stream at this station once we come back to it. This is Beachfront. Beachfront. Next and last stop on this train is Castle Street. Step all the way in, stand clear of the closing doors, please. On Transit City MTA Muse Real Life Part 2, I've seen R211 chasing R46. It's symbolic because they're actually going to be chasing them into retirement. That is funny. Wait, where's my OBS? Okay, there it is. But yeah, that's funny. Northbound C trains are running express from Euclid to Shimmerhorn while we investigate why train's brakes activated at Broadway Junction. Rate R46. I'll give it a 6.5 out of 10. It's not the best, but it's not the worst. Ladies and gentlemen, we are approaching the station of Castle Street. This will be our last stop. Then we will be heading to Sando Junction and letting people off there to end the stream. Castle Street. Last stop on this train, last stop. This curve is legit. I am blending in with the snow. This is insane. Last stop, last stop. No passengers. Well, if you want to stay on, you can, but I'm just going to be looping around to the inner loop. If you want to stay on, you can. It's like the 6 train, where you could stay on if you want to take pictures at City Hall or whatever. But I'm going to just be coming back around the same way. Massive gaps. You see, here's a massive gap. We need a gap filler here. Like right here, massive gap. See it? There it is. Imagine if a Metro North shoreliner had to negotiate this curve. You thought a 75-footer was bad. Oh, ho, ho, you haven't seen the worst of it. Alright, now I got 3 more stops to go. This stop, Beachfront, and Sando Junction. Then the stream ends. Gap fillers are extremely unreliable. That is pain. Why is the R46 screaming? Great R110B. I can't because I never really got to experience it. But they look like they were cool trains. R46 on the truck. Once again, this is Castle Street. It's like a boomerang train. This is a Sando Junction bound shuttle. The next stop on this train is Beachfront. Step all the way in, stand clear of the closing doors, please. Wow, look at this. None of the train made the station. That's incredible. I don't know which one is tighter, the inner loop or the outer loop. But I'm assuming it's the inner loop because there's it's more curvy. As you can see, it's a tighter radius. It's not a perfect circle either, so that plays a part in it. I don't know why, I just love this view. Alright, Beachfront is next. Step all the way in. Stand clear of the closing doors, please. That's an outside view, exterior. R46 with the 882 door chime sounds like 2168. Interesting. Boomerang train I referred to, West Farms fan, was this R42 because of the fact that it looked like a boomerang on the curve. This is literally blinding. City Hall Loop has a loud, sharp turn, even Nevin Street. Oh my goodness, I can't see! Hold on, stop the train, stop the train, stop the train! I can't see anything. Okay. That was scary. I was looking at the comments. I come back to a white screen. I'm like, what is this? Real facts, 9:36. Day. Lasts longer. Yeah, that makes sense because it's closer to the sun. This is beachfront. It does make sense that a day would last longer than a year on that planet because the rotation is much slower. This is a Sando Junction bound shuttle. The next and last stop on this train will be Sando Junction. Step all the way in, stand clear of the closing doors, please. Once again, Sando Junction will be the last stop on this train. This is Sando Junction, last stop, last stop. This train will now be going out of service and acting as a bridge between northbound and southbound shuttle trains. This train will not be making any further stops for the day. We thank you for riding with the KTA Slickin' City Transit. Last stop, last stop. No passengers. Last stop. Alright. Last stop, no passengers. If you attempt to stay on, we will kick you out. Yes. This is true. Yeah, I'm going to say the announcement West Farms fan said, this is the last stop. Please exit onto the platform so that the train can be clean and get moving again. Thank you for riding with us. Alright. Packing up my stuff, getting all my motorman gear, and I am leaving this trip. And now my computer's fully charged, so that is good news as well. I'll find a good view. There we go. Alright, so if you guys enjoyed this snowy stream, in which my eyes got blinded because the snow matched with the R42, please be sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe. I just saw an XDE go into the park. So, you know how I feel. I'm happy. I am a happy man. Yes, like I said before, please be sure to like, comment, and share if you enjoy. And I hope to be seeing everyone next time. Let's lock it up. Alright, peace everyone. W stream. Thank you, I appreciate that. Good stream. Thank you, NJT. See you all next time.